Hey, okay, so I thought of something that I think you're going to find really interesting and cool. So, we're going to talk a little bit about your gut bugs. I know that sounds so weird, but the gut bacteria, the microbiome that you hear about. You hear about probiotics and they're beneficial, and they can be. But what you might not know is why, or you may also not know that bacteria, like just to buy a probiotic in general, doesn't always address the issue that you may be trying to focus on, because bacterial strains are very specific with what they can address. So that is something to keep in mind. But I'm going to go a step beyond that today, because that would take way too long and require me reading off of an entire Bible of all the different specific bacterial strains and what they address. So anyway, we'll go into that another day. But what I thought you'd think was interesting is that in the gut there are some good bacteria and some bad bacteria. And basically, there's the good bacteria, and what you want to do is try and keep this good bacteria, the bacteroides, in a, I'm not going to say more populated. You do want diversity in the gut, but you do want to feed these beneficial bacteria. And then you've got the bad guys, the firmicutes, and you don't want to feed them, because the way that you eat is going to dictate which one of those two groups gets fed more often and therefore multiplies, right? So guess what the good guys like to eat? I'm going to give you a guess. I'll give you 3 guesses and the first 2 don't count. How's that? So yes, you got it. The good bacteria like to eat fruits and veggies, and the fibers that they provide end up being what the beneficial bacteria like to eat. And the bad bacteria, the firmicutes, guess what they eat? All kinds of processed food, and they like to eat sugar, right? And they like to eat foods that are broken down really quick, like sugar and processed flour and ground up corn and stuff like that. So what you eat ends up feeding them. Now, why is that important? Because the beneficial bacteria, as they eat the good for you fibers that came in the fruits and veggies that you had, they end up releasing another type of toxin. And I know toxin sounds bad, but these toxins are actually beneficial because they are a type of chemical signal to tell other cells to do good things in your body, like, hey, let's balance out some of this hormone or neurotransmitter, or just going to be doing beneficial things to the immune system, right? To T regulatory cells. We definitely want that. So it really strongly dictates what's going on with immune function in a positive way. So these are things to keep in mind as you make your food choices, right? So I thought that you might think that was a little bit interesting today, so I thought I'd share that. All right, till next time, y'all take care.